You ready for the video?
Oh, heck yeah, I am. Let's do it.
Awesome. Alrighty.
Really know here.
Exactly. We know how much we don't know.
We do know nothing.
Present practice. What is vibing? This is Vish and
This is Elle.
today we'll be responding to Sadhguru's video on
How to forget someone you love.
and today I'm here with
Elle Rose.
tell the viewers more about yourself.
I'm Elle Rose, and I have been traveling the world the past 2 years, going through so many new ways of living and expanding the mind, and I am just here to share a little bit of my opinions and my perspectives of living.
I love that. And where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Elle_LaRose. That is ELLE_LAROSE. Yeah. Come share your love on my page and get to know me, and I would love to get to know you.
Also, Elle mentioned she'll be coming with a podcast. Want to give us a brief intro about what that is?
Yeah, I'm going to be starting a podcast called On Elle, and that's just going to be a little bit about my life experience and what I have learned along my journey, and the challenge, the discomfort, the pain, and the surrendering of it all, and tapping back into that trust, and bringing on also inspirational speakers that inspire me and teachers of mine that I have learned from along my journey that inspire me, and I feel they would teach you a lot as well.
Have you heard of Sadhguru before?
A little bit,
What do you know?
not too much, but he is a very humble man that is just very centered with one of the earth and oneness. Yeah.
Cool. Have you ever seen any of his videos?
Not so many, no. Yeah, I look forward to it.
Almost many things teach us how to love, but nobody has ever taught us how to undo the love.
The idea of building relationships is that it's of support on all levels of life. In every way, two people can do better than one person, that is the idea.
So, moving on. My question is very relatable to the audience as well. Heartbreak is something that I think
Who broke
everybody…
your heart?
So, heartbreak is something that almost everybody goes through, and especially at some point of their time.
Oh.
And I remember, in fact, my teacher once telling me that it is at your time you love, you break, and you learn to love again and again and again. But
Who is
the
this
beauty…
teacher,
Sorry?
Who is this teacher?
That's a top secret. The beauty of it is that you fall in love again and you break, but then it always ends up healing you again. I wonder, Sadhguru, everybody teaches us how to love. Movies, poems,
Really?
Bollywood.
If you do the things that you're doing in the movie, nobody will love you.
Literature. Almost many things teach us how to love, but nobody has ever taught us how to undo the love.
See, about breaking hearts, I don't have a broken heart because I gave away my heart very early on in my life, so nobody can break it, I gave it away. You should do that, then nobody can break it. See, we must understand this. What is a love affair? Is it okay? Mechanics of love affair, we can look at it. I'm not trying to de-romanticize everything. It's just this. Let's say you were 10 years of age. You looked around, the world was quite normal. Hello? Was it normal when you were 10, 12? It was normal. I'm not picking on you because you're in the first row, okay? So it was looking quite normal. Suddenly, after some time, you got little poison, chemically poisoned. Then you looked, every little bump on somebody's body looks like a world by itself. Hello? Till then everything was okay, isn't it? You're 10, 12, it's okay. You became 13 and you look like this. Suddenly this is a world by itself. The neighborhood squawny girl who didn't mean a damn thing to you, suddenly she's the focus, she's the apple of your eye. Yes? So this is because your intelligence has been hijacked by your hormones. So it is making funny things happen. It is making you believe all kinds of things. When you look back and say you'll feel stupid, but it's okay. There's nothing wrong about it. But it's very important that we understand what's happening to us. Otherwise, we'll do idiotic things that we may regret later, you know. It is not a question…
So Elle, what do you think so far after watching this?
I think that it's a very interesting perspective of, we are taught, in a way, how to love through films, movies, shows, books, poetry, but it is a real question that how do we undo love? And so it's an interesting perspective that he's coming from. He's choosing humor and hormones. And it's a really great thing of putting the two together of what happens whenever you give your heart to someone and coming back, and the fact that he said that he gave his heart away a long time ago. And that, to me, I have a question there. I'm like, it makes you think, where did you give your heart a long time ago? Where did you put that love, or how did you not allow your heart to feel broken a long time ago in your life? Like, when did that happen, and what's the story behind that? So it makes me ask more questions.
Those are great points there, and I appreciate you sharing that. I would love to keep it to just wanting to know more about the video itself. Not too sure about what he means by him giving his heart away, to be fully transparent with y'all. And I will say this, though. I definitely love the way he's able to point out a lot of the preconditioned conclusions we make about life. For example, when she was making these statements that, oh, we're taught about love here or there, and heartbreaks are natural. Are they actually natural? Is that really the process of life? Do we all have to go through a heartbreak? Have we all even gone through a heartbreak? I don't know if I have an answer to that as like we have or we haven't, but I feel like making an assumption about everyone might be a little more on the generalization side. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely based off perspective, and heartbreak can be a word, and we all have our own perspectives of what heartbreak means to each one of us. But I do think with challenge and heartbreak brings more love, and that is how you undo it, is by allowing it, and that eventually comes back to deeper pleasure and deeper love.
Thank you so much for sharing that, and let's get back into the video.
Oh, let's do it.
Of morality, it is a question of handling our life sensibly. This serial heartbreak business can leave you paranoid about anything, about bonding with anybody in your life. Yes or no? You had serial heartbreaks, it looked like fun for some time. After some time, you just don't actually trust anybody in your life, because another human being is a problem, always. Only when our emotions allow you to cross that problem, in some way they get included. But if we have serial heartbreaks, we will never allow our emotion to cross those barriers. We will always be cautious, because anyway this is come with a… expiry date. Huh? When people come with an expiry date, yes, there is an expiry date for all of us, but relationships, the idea of building relationships is that it's of support on all levels of life, so that two people, that means two brains and two bodies, can do better than one in many ways, in various aspects of life, in profession, in domestic situation, in life, in companionship, in emotion, in arranging and organizing our lives, in every way. Two people can do better than one person, that is the idea. And of course, nature is pushing us together because nature doesn't care about your love affair, it just wants you to reproduce. Yes? You think Mother Nature is worried whether you love or you don't love? It wants you to reproduce. But we've overdone that a little bit. There's no hurry, we don't have to yield to that. Hello? Yes. If you were a tiger, I would encourage you, please reproduce, because it's an endangered species. Human beings definitely not endangered, we are endangering everything. So, reproduction is not the purpose right now, we have kept it aside. But nature's push is towards that. But we have emotional needs, physical needs, psychological needs, maybe financial and social needs, variety of needs. To conduct these needs in a dignified way, to conduct these needs in a… See, once you come as a human being, you can't do things, though they're the same things what the animals do, but we would like to do it more gracefully, consciously. Whether we eat or we copulate or we sleep, we like to do it little more aesthetically right. That's an important thing. For that, we need the cooperation of another person who is also somehow congruent to us. Every 2 days if you have heartbreaks and going on, well, you will see the trouble of that.
So Elle, what'd you think after watching the whole video?
I thought a lot. Yeah, my mind is still thinking, and ultimately, like, what I get from it is experiencing a lot of heartbreak within this society nowadays. We can almost be scared to open back up after experiencing something very painful, any kind of heartache. We can be scared to open back up our heart to another person or trying something new, whatever we failed at. But it goes so deep with heartache and heartbreak, ultimately.
Let me ask you this, if you don't mind. What does the word heart mean to you?
Heart. It means love and openness.
What does love mean to you?
Love means to me oneness, nature, the breath and life force of what this is, connecting and being you, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, definitely an interesting video. I definitely see what he's kind of saying with regards to this whole heartbreak idea and how it can almost be an addiction, right? Where we're chasing after love, but our hearts keep breaking. What do you think about that?
I think as humans we crave love and we crave connection, and our intention is to not get to heartbreak, but within love comes heartbreak, period. You know, with being in a relationship, it's not easy, and there's many great challenges within that union that you are creating with your partner. And with that brings a lot of heartache, you know, like it's pain, it's discomfort, it's challenge, it's, as he was saying, was two brains work better together because your partner is like telling you things you maybe don't see about yourself, and that ultimately can hurt. To hear something hard, like to hear and to accept it, is when the work really comes in. And so, yeah.
Those are great points. And like you just said, I mean, being able to actually be in a conscious relationship, I think that's super important. You really want to be more and stronger, better. These are just terms, but essentially with two people, just logically at this point, I mean, you'd want to do things consciously and just more, right?
Yeah,
versus like
rise. Ultimately, you're the point of being in relationships, in my opinion, is to rise together and to support each other with evolving and growing and learning who we are as individuals and how can we come together to better ourselves individually, but also walk this path together. And once you learn to accept this person, because sometimes it can just be so hard to accept someone's flaws and the things that trigger you the most, but ultimately that is just your your teacher and your lesson of like, this is triggering me, and why is this triggering me? You know, that's where like the good stuff is.
Absolutely. It's all about treating everything as a spiritual practice. And like you just said as well, I mean, being able to be open and receptive to that feedback that we get from the other person. It's super important, because otherwise the ego gets in the way and it's like attached to, no, I'm perfect. There's nothing wrong with
You are
me.
not perfect. None of us are perfect.
What does that mean? I'm actually curious. Going off of that, what does perfect even mean to you?
What does perfect mean to me? Like, I want to say like nature again. Like, that is the one thing. Well, it's not even perfect. Like, the word perfect is imperfection. Like, there's not something, like, maybe it's a definition, and I don't want to put too much energy towards the word perfect, but we can strive. What am I trying to say? Strive? Yeah, we can strive our best to be like a sense of feeling like complete, but perfect just feels like it doesn't. I rather say like imperfections instead of like feeling like I need to be perfect. Like perfect, it's imperfections, and our imperfections make us who we are. And I feel like feeling too much like I need to be perfect, or I need to do this perfect. Everything is just what it is. And even nature is like, yeah, it's life and death. And life is beautiful, and death is also can be beautiful. And where does perfect lie between life and death? You know, it's just like makes you think. But what is perfect? I have no idea. What do you think perfect is?
Thank you for asking. Thank you for sharing all that too. It's really interesting, because I feel like a lot of the words we tend to use, not suggesting that you're doing this personally, but I've done this, and we all tend to do it in a very unconscious manner, right? That, for example, okay, this is another one. So it's kind of off topic, but things will get better. I feel like that's used quite often, no?
Yeah.
What
it's
is
going to be okay?
going to be okay? Yes, but what is, I'm sure you've heard of things will get better, right? That's a
Yeah.
pretty common phrase.
Obviously. Like,
But let me ask you this. What does better mean to you?
you and your questions. What is improving? You know, life will gets like easy. There's like, we go through natural flows. Life gets better, like easy, and then life gets challenging. But it's never just easy. Like, life will still challenge you and come back and check you in your place. And the real question is like, how do we, stay there and accept that? But things will get better. Yeah, things will get more easy and feel lighter eventually once you are feeling the discomfort, maybe.
Is it something like along the lines of how you'll get more comfortable being uncomfortable? Is that fitting?
I like that. Yeah,
Sweet.
feeling more comfortable in the discomfort. Yeah, with time, for sure.
I love that. And so to answer your question, because I think you were asking me about what does perfect mean to me? Yeah? I think.
What is meaning? Yeah, what is perfect to you, or is what is better being, like, what does that better mean to you, or perfect? Either one.
Surely,
Not
yes.
both.
So, yeah, as you'd mentioned earlier, I mean, words can be, I think they're powerful, but also, this is where, I guess we'll wrap this up towards this part of the video, which is really just asking you all as well, like, what does the word better mean to you? I would love to hear what you all think about that, and then what does perfect mean as well to you all? Just comment that down below. But to give you my little take on that, I would say better. Things will get better. I will get better. What does that mean? So to me, and this is again with the limited amount of awareness that I have, it really just comes down to me wanting to be at a certain place, which is not the now. So sure, improvement is always great, but you're still essentially putting down a goal of where you're not now. And I definitely strive for, and I'm still reflecting, so I don't think this is the definitive conclusion about.
Same with me. We don't have all the answers.
Exactly. We know that. That's something we definitely know.
That's something we really know here.
Exactly. We know how much we don't know.
We do know nothing.
Exactly. So, yeah, with that being said, Jesus actually talks about this too. And great spiritual teacher, by the way. And it's something on the lines of, I'm paraphrasing here, about how you essentially, whenever you want to ask for something, imagine or be like you already have that within you. So it's kind of, I guess, a form of manifestation in a way, but it's essentially the idea that everything truly does come from within. And so does things actually get better, or is it just best to be?
Yeah, you learn to dance with it, you know, like when things are challenging, just dance with the challenge. And maybe that's how it gets better, is through dancing.
Absolutely.
And through laughing through that discomfort.
100%. Well, thank you so much for asking those questions, and I appreciate you sharing your views on this video.
Thank you.
With that, don't forget to check out Elle all over social medias, and her podcast stuff will be all linked down below. With that, make a great day, take it joyfully, and stay conscious. You did great.
I appreciate you.